to provide the affidavit, the necessary financial means to have him come to England. And so my father left on the 20th of April, which was Hitler's 50th birthday, 20th of April, 1938. My father left for London, and my mother was left with my brother, who was 2 years older. I was 7, he was 9, and my mother was left for the three of us, and the question came, now what? It was at that time, through a weekly Jewish newspaper that came into the provinces, that she found out that this Kindertransport had been established. What had happened? After Kristallnacht, after the burning of the synagogues, a daughter of the famous Warburg banking family out of Hamburg, Germany, she was a social worker. She was living in London. She had, because of her banking connections, a lot of friends in Parliament. And she went to her friends and she said, we must do something to help the children get out of Germany. They said to her, what do you recommend? And she said, we must open up the homes of English families to see, because a war is on the horizon, to see that we get as many Jewish children out of Germany. At this point, Austria had been annexed as part of the Greater Reich. It was now also part of Germany. And by March of 1939, they annexed the Sudeten part of Czechoslovakia. And she said, we have to get as many children out as was possible. And the English, in very, very short order, said that if families will take these children, that we will open up our country and we will try to find homes. And usually families took one. Sometimes if there were siblings of the same gender, two girls or two boys, brothers and sisters were harder to place. But anyway, families came forth. And in some cases, it was a good match. In some cases, it was not a good match, because a lot of the older girls were pressed into domestic service in English households. Families who had had no help in their households up to that time said, well, now we can use these German girls to be our servants. The boys very often ended up on farms to help the farmers in England with their chores. And so the time elapsed, and my mother was finally notified that in July, on very short notice, that my brother and I would be eligible to be part of the Kindertransport. I was 7 and my brother was 9. Each child could carry no more